Prime Minister Tariq Rahman exchanges greetings with Christian leaders on the occasion of Easter Sunday, calls for united efforts to build happy, prosperous, better Bangladesh. The special vaccination program for measles begins. In the first phase, children aged 6 to 59 months being given vaccines in 30 upazilas of 18 districts. No alternative to vaccination for eradication of measles, says Health and Family Welfare Minister. Bill setting maximum age limit of 32 years for direct recruitment in the government jobs passed in the Jatiyo সংসদ. Government not increase fuel prices yet to ease burden on people, says Finance Minister. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shapon called for using creativity in cinema for civilization and humanity. Boishakhi Shobha Jatra would be the name of Poila Boishakh procession this year, not Mongol or Anando Shobha Jatra, says Cultural Affairs Minister. Trump's threat to Iran to make peace deal within 48 hours, sign of his helplessness, says Tehran. Attack, retaliatory attack continue. And Inter Miami in their new stadium draw 2-2 with Austin FC even after Messi Suarez's goals. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is News at 10 on BTV News. I am Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui. You just heard the highlights. Let's move on to the detailed stories. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman called for united efforts to build a happy, prosperous, better Bangladesh. The Premier made the remarks at a greetings exchange event with leaders of the Protestant Church at his Cabinet Division office in the Bangladesh Secretariat on the occasion of Easter Sunday. A 13-member delegation led by President of the Federation of Protestant Churches in Bangladesh, Bishop Philip P. Adhikari, met the Prime Minister and exchanged views with him on the occasion of Easter Sunday. During the meeting, the Prime Minister wished success and prosperity for the Christian community. The leaders of the Christian community invited the Prime Minister in advance to Christmas. Later, they presented him with a commemorative crest. Greeting the Christian community on Easter Sunday, Tariq Rahman said, "We see people of all religions equally and love them in the same way. Religion belongs to individuals, but the country belongs to all. It is the responsibility of people of all religions to take the country forward." The Prime Minister said there was a perception that people of other religions do not give vote for BNP. In the last election, this has been proven wrong. People of all religions voted for BNP and ensured victory. Noting the condition of the country under the previous government, Tariq Rahman said the country was in a fragile state when the BNP assumed office through the people's verdict. The economic sector, the communication sector and the several other sectors were in a fragile condition. It felt like we had taken responsibility for a war-ravaged country, he said. The Premier further said that due to the conflict involving Iran, the United States and Israel, Bangladesh has faced another crisis, particularly in the energy sector, and highlighted the government's efforts to tackle the fuel shortage situation triggered by the Middle East conflict. Earlier, Bangladesh Bible Society General Secretary Reverend Oshim Baroy and retired Wing Commander Christopher M. Adhikari of the Federation of Protestant Churches in Bangladesh spoke at the event on behalf of the Christian community. The leaders also raised demands for preservation of Christians and the reserved seats for women in Parliament and declaration of Easter Sunday as a public holiday. They expressed commitment to cooperate and work as partners with the government led by Tariq Rahman. The Prime Minister assured that the demands of the Christian community would be considered. Local Government and Rural Development Minister and BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said that some political parties are trying to create disorder in the society and in the state by dividing people based on religious factors. He made this remark while speaking as the chief guest at a program organized on Madani Avenue in Baridhara in the capital on the occasion of Easter Sunday, one of the main and joyful festivals of the Christian community. He said that those who attempt to create disorder in the society in the name of religion must be resisted. He added that Prime Minister Tariq Rahman and the Bangladesh Nationalist Party (BNP) have already shown respect to the leaders of all religions in their efforts to build Bangladesh as a democratic country like the rest of the world. Easter Sunday is being celebrated in Bangladesh with due religious solemnity. The day began with prayers in different churches across the capital. Easter Sunday is a religious festival of the Christian community. According to Christian belief, this is the day when Jesus Christ was resurrected from death. Therefore, the day is very important, sensitive and joyful for Christians. LGRD and Cooperatives Minister and BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has alleged that some parties and groups are trying to create instability in the country over the signed July Charter. He made the accusation at the Greeting Exchange program on the occasion of religious festival of the Christian community Easter Sunday at Kakrail Archbishop House in the capital today. United Forum of Churches Bangladesh has organized the function. Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said that BNP will not follow the signed July Charter word for word. Problems are being created on some issues unnecessarily, he added. Urging the people of the country, he said BNP do not do politics for politics, rather the party do politics for the welfare of the people of the country and for bringing changes in the country. The objective of BNP government is to build a peaceful, humane and democratic Bangladesh, Fakhrul said. He called upon all to work together to build a peaceful Bangladesh through mutual love, brotherhood and sympathy and not through hatred. President of the organization, Archbishop Bijoy N. D. Cruz, presided over the program. DSCC Administrator and BNP Chairperson's Advisory Council member, heroic freedom fighter Abdul Salam, Prime Minister's Special Assistant Bijon Kanti Sarkar and BNP's Executive Member Sushil Borua spoke at the function. Christian community and social leaders also spoke. U.S. Ambassador to Bangladesh Brent T. Christensen paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. The U.S. envoy made the premiere at his Cabinet Division office in the Bangladesh Secretariat today. During the meeting, the U.S. Ambassador handed over 2 photographs and a replica of the White House to the Prime Minister. One photograph features Shahid President Zia Rahman and former U.S. President Jimmy Carter, while the other shows former Prime Minister Begum Khaleda Zia and the former U.S. President George Bush the Senior. Foreign Minister Dr. Khalilur Rahman and Prime Minister's Advisor for Foreign Affairs Humayun Kabir were present at the meeting. During the meeting, they discussed various issues of mutual interest. After the meeting between Prime Minister and the U.S. Ambassador, Foreign Minister Dr. Khalilur Rahman briefed the journalists. He said that detailed discussions have been held regarding energy cooperation with the United States. The minister stated that diplomatic efforts are ongoing with all possible source countries to address the energy crisis. The Foreign Minister said that the recent meeting, including general discussions on bilateral relations between the two countries, particularly focus on energy, trade and development cooperation. At the same time, the continuation of the United States support in addressing the Rohingya crisis was also given importance. He said that the United States remains the largest donor for the Rohingyas in the world and the continuation of its assistance was discussed. Regarding cooperation in the energy sector, he said that he held discussions with senior officials of the U.S. Department of Energy, although some aspects of the discussions cannot be disclosed due to confidentiality. The United States has assured its support is in ensuring Bangladesh's energy security. In response to another question, the Foreign Minister said that there is no secret agreement between the government and the United States. All agreements that have been made have been disclosed. He further stated that the notion that Bangladesh needs to seek permission from the United States to import oil due to any such agreement is completely baseless. A delegation led by UNDP resident representative in Bangladesh, Stephen Lilla, made a courtesy call on Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed at his bungalow this afternoon. Various issues including law and order and security, police reform, Independent Police Commission, National Human Rights Commission ordinance related to prevention, abduction of forced disappearances and remedy, and Rohingya issue came up for discussion during the call-on. At the beginning of the meeting, the minister welcomed the UNDP delegation, while UNDP resident representative Stephen Lilla welcomed the minister for taking the new responsibility. Referring to the police reform, the Home Minister said that they are working on police reform. However, he added it would not be possible overnight because the government believes in continuous or chronological development. UNDP can cooperate with Bangladesh in exchanging police reorganization, reform, as well as ability and capability, he added. Assuring necessary cooperation in police reform, the UNDP resident representative said that the contribution of UNDP is undeniable in creating National Human Rights Commission. She mentioned that the UNDP also extended all cooperation in formulating the draft of the Commission ordinance, and efforts were made to include international practices in this regard. Referring to the National Human Rights Commission ordinance, the minister said there is close link between Human Rights Commission ordinance and the formation of Independent Police Commission. So he added, keeping similarity with this, the related bill will be placed in the Parliament after necessary scrutiny. Replying to a query about the Enforced Disappearances Prevention and Remedy Ordinance, Salahuddin Ahmed said that this is also be placed in the Parliament later after necessary scrutiny. He explained that a couple of sections of the ordinance have been given in such a way that it becomes difficult to identify the real initiator of the abduction. At this time, the minister highlighted experience during his disappearance. Referring to giving power for investigation to Armed Police Battalion APBN deployed in Rohingya camp, the Home Minister clearly mentioned that only the investigating official can probe and APBN is not an investigating agency. However, he assured that the delegation about gearing up necessary security in the Rohingya camps. Joint Secretary of the Political Branch 1 of Home Ministry, Rebecca Khan, Deputy Resident Representative of UNDP in Bangladesh, Shonali Dayaratne, Assistant Resident Representative Anwarul Haq, and Advisor on Rule of Law, Justice and Security of UNDP Bangladesh, Romana Schweger, were present. Due to an alarming increase in the outbreak of the highly contagious disease measles across the country, the government has launched a special vaccination campaign from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday in 30 selected depositors of 18 districts. Under this emergency health program, all children aged from 6 months to under 5 years are being administered the measles vaccine. Health and Family Planning Minister Mohammad Sardar Shekhawat Hussain inaugurated the vaccination program in the morning at the Nawabganj Upazila Health Complex in Dhaka. At the time, he said that the measles situation is currently under control of the government and there is no reason for public panic. The vaccination program is being conducted by identifying areas with recent high outbreaks of measles as hotspots. According to the Directorate General of Health Services, this is an ongoing process. Although the program has initially started in high-risk areas, it will gradually be expanded across the country. Jatiyo সংসদ today passed a bill fixing the maximum age limit at 32 years for direct appointment in government, autonomous and statutory bodies, public non-financial corporations and self-governing bodies of the country. The bill, titled Maximum Age Limit for Direct Appointment in Government, Autonomous, Statutory Government Authorities, Public Non-Financial Corporations and Self-Governing Bodies Act 2026, was placed by State Minister for Public Administration Mohammad Abdul Bari in the House. The State Minister said that the bill was placed in the Parliament for the purpose of turning it into a law. Later, the bill was passed by the voice votes. The Jatiyo সংসদ also passed the Public Service Amendment Bill 2026, inducting strict disciplinary measures and a fast-track investigation process to ensure accountability and discipline among government employees. The proposed law seeks to amend the Public Service Act 2018 by inserting a new section specifically targeting actions that disrupt public service. Earlier, the House resumed its sitting with Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmed in the chair. Liberation War Affairs Minister Ahmed Azam Khan said the government has so far cancelled gazette of 481 fake freedom fighters as part of its initiative to update the list of genuine freedom fighters. The minister said this while giving a statement responding to an emergency important public notice raised by Treasury Bench lawmaker Mohammad Abdul Malik of Sylhet 3 under rules. The minister said the enrollment of the fake freedom fighters took place enormously during the fascist regime. Later in the Parliament, ruling party lawmaker Zainal Abidin Farooq proposed that the current Parliament session be adjourned to allow for discussion on strategies to implement the July National Charter 2025. Lawmakers from Treasury Bench and opposition took part in the discussion. Later, the Speaker adjourned the House till 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman has met July fighters and family members of those who embraced martyrdom during the July uprising at the Jatiyo সংসদ this evening. During the Maghrib prayer break in the Jatiyo সংসদ session, the Premier went to the VIP gallery Meghna, where he exchanged greetings with injured individuals and family members of people who embraced martyrdom during the uprising. Tariq Rahman, also ruling BNP chairman, listened attentively to their grief. The Prime Minister was seen consoling them by placing his hand on their heads and shoulders, creating an emotional environment at the venue. He assured the July fighters and martyrs' family members that the current government would always stand by them. Prime Minister's additional press secretary Atikur Rahman Roman was present on the occasion. A Milad and Dua Mahfil was held to seek divine forgiveness for the departed soul of the late Dilara Hafiz, wife of Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmed. The Dua Mahfil took place today after Maghrib prayers at the Jatiyo সংসদ Bhavan Mosque. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman attended the Dua Mahfil. Additionally, the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, members of the Cabinet, the Chief Whip and Whips, the leader of the opposition, lawmakers, officials and staff of the Jatiyo সংসদ Secretariat and media officials participated in the Dua Mahfil and prayers. Despite sufficient fuel stocks in the country, people in the capital are still standing in long lines at petrol pumps. Authorities concerned said that the surge in demand is driven by rumors or fears of shortages rather than an actual lack of supply. However, the main problem is illegal fuel hoarding. In response, government monitoring and inspection teams are actively working on the ground to prevent any irregularities or disorder related to fuel and illegal stockpiling. Finance Minister Amir Khosrow Mahmood Chowdhury has said that although fuel prices have already increased in the United States and Sri Lanka, the government has not raised fuel prices yet in order to reduce the burden on the people as an elected government. He made this statement to journalists today after a national multi-stakeholder consultation workshop held in Agargaon in the capital. The finance minister said that the current problem is not confined to a single country. Rather, this crisis has emerged due to the impact of the global situation. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shapon has said that filmmakers to use creativity in cinema to help safeguard civilization and humanity. He made the call while inaugurating short-term courses at the Bangladesh Cinema and Television Institute in the capital's Darussalam area today. Mass media shapes people's mental maps. While working on films, ethical standards must be maintained, the minister said. After the inauguration, he visited the proposed site for the institute's development project. Officials said the government is planning to establish a modern campus for BCTI in Darussalam. The minister also visited the National Institute of Mass Communication, noting that the role of national institutions like NIMCO is expanding to further strengthen digital mass communication. Cultural Affairs Minister Nitai Rai Chaudhary has announced that this year's Poila Boishakh procession will be officially named the Boishakhi Shobha Jatra, replacing previous titles such as Anando or Mongol Shobha Jatra. He said the government has taken the decision to resolve the long-standing debate over the procession's name. The announcement was made at a briefing held at the Secretariat this morning, marking preparations for the Bengali New Year and festivals of various ethnic communities. The minister noted that the move aims to end divisions and promote unity through diversity. The name of the procession has been changed at different times in the past, leading to disagreement. To bring consensus among all parties, the name Boishakhi Shobha Jatra has been finalized, he added. Meanwhile, Dhaka University authorities said adequate security measures have been taken to ensure a safe celebration. Dhaka University Proctor Saifuddin Ahmed said that the administration remains alert to face any situation. The Cultural Minister also informed that work on the July Mass Uprising Memorial Museum is progressing rapidly and it is expected to be opened soon. To tackle the ongoing energy crisis in the country and conserve electricity, the government has revised the closing schedule for markets, shopping malls and shops. Instead of the previously set time for 6 p.m., shops will now be allowed to remain open for an additional hour until 7 p.m. State Minister for Power, Energy and Mineral Resources, Onindo Islam Amit, informed journalists of this at his ministry in the Secretariat this afternoon. He said that following a request from the Shop Owners Association and under the Prime Minister's directive, shopping malls will now close by 7 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. starting today. The State Minister said that the government wants to address this challenge collectively and therefore decisions are made through discussions with all sectors. Earlier, in light of the energy crisis caused by the war in the Middle East, a cabinet meeting held last Thursday night had decided to close shopping malls and shops after 6 p.m. However, leaders of the Bangladesh Shop Owners Association had requested Prime Minister Tariq Rahman to reconsider the decision, seeking permission to operate business until 8 p.m. Education Minister A.N.M. Ehsanul Haq Milon has said that no final decision has yet been made regarding online classes in educational institutions due to the global energy crisis. However, he informed that the decision on introducing online-offline classes in educational institutions will be made within this week. He said this to journalists at the Secretariat today. The Education Minister stated that a meeting with the stakeholders will be held within the next 1 or 2 days. After that, a final decision will be taken at the Cabinet meeting on Thursday. After nearly 40 days of holidays on various occasions, including Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr, educational institutions reopened on March 29. Meanwhile, due to the war situation in the Middle East, Bangladesh, along with many other countries, are facing an energy crisis. In this situation, the idea of introducing partial online teaching in educational institutions has come forward to reduce pressure on energy consumption. NBR Chairman Mohammad Abdur Rahman Khan has said that from next year, advance tax deducted will be refunded directly to taxpayers' bank accounts if their income decreases. He also informed that the customs automation system will be fully operational within this month. Abdur Rahman Khan made these remarks this morning at a pre-budget discussion held at the NBR building in the capital's Agargaon. At the event, the chairman of the American Chamber of Commerce in Bangladesh has stressed the need for policy continuity to encourage investors. There was also a call for modernization of the customs system to reduce complexities. Meanwhile, the Bangladesh Women Chamber of Commerce and Industry demanded that the minimum tax-free income threshold for women should be set at 4.5 lakh taka. They also urged the formulation of supportive tax policies to encourage women entrepreneurs. Later, the NBR chairman said that the board is considering abolishing the surcharge system and returning to a framework where taxes are imposed on wealth to remove discrimination. The prosecution has filed formal charges against 22 individuals, including former Foreign Minister Hassan Mahmood and former Chattogram 6 lawmaker ABM Fazle Karim Chaudhry in a crimes against humanity case over the killing of 6 people, including Jatiyotawadi Chhatrodol leader Wasim, during the July mass uprising. Prosecutor Farik Ahmed submitted the allegation to International Crimes Tribunal 1 registrar this morning. Prosecutor Zahirul Amin and investigation officer Amin Rashid were present at the time. In the case, the prosecution has also sought arrest warrants against 18 fugitive accused, including Hassan Mahmood. Meanwhile, the International Crimes Tribunal recorded the 4th day of witness testimony today in a case accusing former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's advisor Salman F. Rahman and former Law Minister Anisul Haq of inciting genocide and committing crimes against humanity by imposing curfew during the July uprising. The hearing began in the morning before a judicial panel of Tribunal 1 led by its chairman Justice Muhammad Ghulam Murtaza Majumdar. In a separate development, the same tribunal has set 19th April for the hearing on framing charges against 12 accused, including former lawmaker Shamim Usman, in a case over crimes against humanity committed in Narayanganj during the July mass uprising. Prosecutor Abdul Sattar Polawan appeared for the prosecution. Meanwhile, the International Crimes Tribunal 1 has granted a further 2 months to submit the investigation report in a case over killings, torture and other crimes against humanity during a Hifazat-e-Islam rally at Shapla Chottor in Motijhil. The tribunal has set 7th June as the next date for submitting the report against the accused, including absconding former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The order was issued today by a 2-member bench of the Tribunal 1 led by its chairman Justice Muhammad Ghulam Murtaza Majumdar, with Judge Muhammad Muhitul Haq Inam Chaudhry as the other member. Prosecutor Ghazi M.H. Tamim represented the prosecution during the hearing. And now international news.